Let me tell you something you probably won't believe, but it happened, and it still gives me chills every time I think about it sometimes. Life hands you a miracle right when you're about to stop hoping for one. I was sitting in my old maroon wheelchair, the one that squeaks just enough to remind me every day that I'm not who I used to be. I used to walk through White Park like I own it after all. When you're the co-founder of a billion-dollar tech company, you sort of feel like the whole world bows a little when you pass. But time has a way of knocking you off that pedestal, you know what I mean? I'm 84, and for the past 2 years, my legs haven't done a single thing for me, no matter how many doctors I paid or how many prayers I whispered into my pillow at night. My caregiver had gone off to get me some tea, probably more for her own sanity than for my thirst, and I was left alone under the old oak trees. The light filtered through the leaves, making these golden shapes on the gravel, and I remember thinking, this is what silence sounds like when it's louder than anything else. And that's when I heard them small, slow footsteps, soft but sure, coming closer. I turned, and there he was, a little boy, couldn't have been more than 7 or 8, wearing these brown pants that looked like they'd survived a dozen childhoods, a gray jacket patched at the elbows, sandals hanging on for dear life. His clothes were tired, his hair was wild, but his eyes had this light in them, like he knew something the rest of us forgot. He stopped right in front of me, not a trace of pity or fear in his gaze, just pure, gentle confidence. "May I hold your hand, ma'am?" he asked. For a second, I thought it was a joke, or maybe some prank. But something inside Meme, that part that hadn't given up yet, told me to say yes. His hand was warm, steady, and a little rough, but comforting, like a friend you didn't know you needed. "My name's Jeremiah," he said, "and I know you can walk again." I snorted, couldn't help myself. "Are you a surgeon in disguise? Or maybe just another preacher boy?" I meant to sound tough, but it came out brittle, a bit broken. He just shook his head. "I ain't no doctor, and I ain't trying to preach. But I believe in the Lord, and I know what He can do." I raised an eyebrow. "Well, I used to believe, too. Right up until God took my husband with cancer and my only son in a car crash. I didn't mean to say it, but grief has a way of slipping past your lips when you least expect it. Jeremiah just let the silence sit between us, didn't try to fill it with empty words. Then he said, "The Lord doesn't promise an easy walk, but He did promise He'd walk beside you." I tried to laugh, but all I managed was a tear. I wiped it away fast, hoping he didn't notice. "Child, what do you know about loss?" He let go of my hand and sat next to me, his feet barely reaching the ground. "My mama died last year. I was there, holding her hand until it got cold. I asked God why He took her, but then I realized He didn't take her, He called her. And He left me here to do something for someone whose heart is heavier than their legs." That hit harder than I wanted it to. I've spent millions on science, but could this boy's faith fix what nothing else could? "You think your God can do what 1,000 doctors couldn't?" I challenged. "No, ma'am," he said softly. "I don't think He can. I know He will." There was no arrogance in his voice, just this deep, stubborn confidence, like he'd already weathered every storm and come out standing. "Well, go on then," I grumbled. "Pray your miracle prayer." But Jeremiah just smiled. "No, not now. Miracles don't come when we ask. They come when the heart is ready." Before I could argue, my caregiver came back, giving Jeremiah a look that said, "Not today, young man." But he just stepped back. "Tomorrow. Same time." I scoffed. "Why would I come back?" He grinned, this knowing little smirk. "Because you already want to." And then he vanished, just like that, sunlight haloing his small frame as he disappeared down the trail. That night, I couldn't sleep. Everything felt loud and wrong: the news, my books, even the silence. I kept seeing that boy's eyes, hearing his words. For the first time in years, I found myself whispering a prayer, half-formed, barely believing. "Lord, if you're real, if you're not done with me." The next day, at the same time, same bench, I found myself there again. My hands weren't clenched so tight. My eyes were clearer. I told myself I just needed air, that I wasn't here for some dusty little prophet. But when I heard those soft footsteps again, same dusty jacket, same peaceful eyes, I almost smiled. "Didn't think you'd come," he teased. "I didn't either," I admitted. We sat, mostly in silence, just watching the birds skate across the pond. Finally, I asked, "You said miracles come when the heart's ready. What if mine isn't?" He smiled, that knowing smile again. "The Lord don't wait for perfection, just honesty." I looked away. What if I'm angry at him? You can be. What if I've blamed him for everything? He already knows. Suddenly, I broke. Tears rushed out, surprising even me. He took my boy, Jeremiah, my only child, 17. Smart, sweet, gone in a flash. Since then, I haven't walked. Not just my legs. I've been dead inside for a long time. Jeremiah listened. No judgment, just the patience of someone twice his age. He reached into his pocket and handed me a folded piece of paper, old and worn. "I want you to read this." I opened it slowly. It was a note, faded, ink smudged by time. "To whoever finds this, I don't know who you are, but I pray you're someone still fighting. Don't let sorrow trap your soul. God may allow us to break, but only so he can hold us when we can't hold ourselves." My name was James Langston. If you're reading this, tell my mom I'm okay. My breath caught in my chest. My fingers shook. "Where did you find this?" I whispered. Jeremiah looked up at the sunlight breaking through the branches. "Near an old bus stop by Highway 9. It was tucked inside a Bible under a bench. No name, no number. But when I opened it, I knew. My son's Bible. He used to say the name Jeremiah means God will uplift." I broke down, for real this time. For the first time in years, I let it all out, the loss, the anger, the love, the relief, the hope. I didn't even notice at first, but my hand started moving, then my foot, then my thigh. I hadn't felt those muscles in years. I gasped, clutching my wheelchair. I felt that. Jeremiah knelt beside me. "Can I pray with you now?" I nodded, couldn't speak. He took my hand. We prayed. Not some fancy prayer, just words about surrender, hope, and healing. When I opened my eyes, the air felt different, warmer, brighter. I put my hand on the wheelchair's arm, and, trembling, I pushed myself up. For the first time in years, I stood. Wobbly, yes, but standing, crying, laughing, feeling more alive than I ever had. I turned to thank Jeremiah, but he was gone. No goodbye, no name, just the letter in my hand and a voice in my soul. He doesn't wait on perfection, just honesty. 3 months later, my story made the news. Billionaire widow walks again after mysterious encounter. Nobody ever found that boy, no photos, no video, nothing. But I walk through White Park every day now. No wheelchair, no bitterness, no fear. Sometimes, I even leave an extra sandwich on the bench just in case he comes back. So let me ask, do you believe in miracles? Or do you think there's always an explanation for everything? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's the line between faith, fate, and coincidence? I'd love to hear your story. And if you're out there searching for your own miracle, don't stop hoping. Maybe it's just around the corner, waiting for you to be ready.